deployed. Stand Bravo, over. Hey, look out. I think you got some infantry headed our way. Oh, shit. I've got some infantry. Got eyes on enemy infantry over there.
Yo, what's going on YouTube? Doom49 here, bringing you a post commentary on the M14 assault rifle. Gonna be showing you guys how to dominate with this weapon on a close quarter situation, dominating the map, pushing the enemies back and making it hard for them to get in. But first thing, when you get Rambo revived like that, the best thing for you to do is to strafe hop as much as you can. Be agile, be quick, make it hard for the enemy to take you out. And right there, I'm just throwing in some C4 to take out any enemies that are pushing up in case there was more than just that medic off to the side there. I'm gonna be pushing up here, doing it defensively on Valparaiso, and I'm gonna be giving you some tips on how I like to play with this weapon close range, and probably even giving you some tips on the map later on. But I swear to God, as I mentioned, this weapon is a nutcracker. You gotta aim at the nuts to get the headshot. If you don't do that, I swear to God, it's busting your nuts. And you're gonna see later on why this weapon busts my nuts sometimes. Now, I'm using the lightweight package Magnum ammo 1911 pistol, and I'll explain why I love using this weapon. And I'm using the C4 because that's all you get. And I'm gonna be explaining later on how you can be dominant with the C4 in a defensive and attacker situation. But here's a tip for you: when you see a couple of guys, to be accurate as heck and to take off a lot of rounds, you want to crouch and take out those shots. It makes it a lot more accurate than it would if you don't. And look at this medic running at me right there. Quickly try to knife and miss on the first one, get him with the next one. See another oblivious medic off to the side, shoot him dead with the M14, pull out my beautiful 1911, and I'll be explaining later on, like I mentioned, why I love using this weapon. Take out that engineer, decided it's a good idea to throw some C4 on that tank and blow it up, just in case there were some guys in there that the engineer was repairing it for. And I'm going to move up here and try to get in behind enemy lines and destroy more guys, because the whole point of being behind enemy lines is you want to kill as many guys as you can and rush, make them look behind them and make them not want to push up, make it hard for them to push up. That's what I'm doing right here. But I'm going to be talking about attacker style on Valparaiso and little flanks I like to do along the way. I'm going to take this guy out. I decide to pull out my pistol to get the other guy, but I get taken out from a guy behind me. Look at him, he's just looking at my dead corpse. Now right here, I'm going to be talking about how I like to dominate on these next set of few MCOMs. Now everybody, let's face it, everybody knows how to dominate on the first two MCOMs, and what I'm going to be doing is how to dominate on the next few MCOMs, because everybody knows how to do it first two. So I'm going to move off to the flank side here, and like I said, this weapon is like the SVU sniping rifle. You gotta know when to shoot and how fast to shoot. You gotta know the rate of fire, and I'll try to explain it as much as I can later on in this video. But here's why I love using the 1911 pistol. When I see a guy off to the side, take him out, realize I'm low on ammo, quickly pull out my pistol and take out that medic up on top right there. Now, the 1911 pistol works beautifully in close quarter and even long range situation. It has that nice sheer brute force damage in case my M14 didn't do enough damage to take the guy out. I could quickly pull out the pistol and take him out. And look at that guy, he's using a Gustav on me. I take him out easily, showing him why the M14 is a lot better than using his new Gustav. You guys really got to stop using that Gustav stuff. Now I'm moving off this side here, and as I mentioned earlier, this weapon is a nutcracker. Because if you ain't killing the guy when you're using the nuts, it's going to bust your nuts. Look at this, look at this. How many shots do I got to take to kill this guy? I don't even get one hit ridge and I get taken out, but that's not going to stop me. I'm going to keep moving up and trying to take the enemy out. Now look at this. This is what I'm talking about, knowing your rate of fire, when to shoot, and standing still makes it a lot more accurate, as you saw as the first two kills I got. When you start missing like this, don't start running around with it like a chicken with his head cut off. Use your environment. That's what I did right here. I got on the heavy MG and took him out. It's not there to look pretty, it's there for you to dominate the map and use it. So use it when you can. Don't just sit on it like a noob. And I get taken out right there, but let me show you what I do when I get into one of these situations where the enemy has a real nice whole defensive line on that MCOM. It especially happens when there's one MCOM left. Now when the enemy does that, a lot of you guys shouldn't keep running into the MCOM. You want to go on a flank, get in behind the enemy, and go on behind enemy lines on the far flank from the MCOM. Pick off as many guys as you can, because let's face it, when you guys start taking out a lot of guys, they're going to be looking for you, they're going to want you dead. And that's what you want. That's what you want to happen, because they're going to go away from that MCOM. It makes it a lot easier for your team to push up. It makes it a lot easier for your squad mates to spawn on you and back you up. And look at that right there. This is what I'm talking about, this weapon being a nutcracker. On long range situations, you got to slow down your rate of fire and aim at the nuts, because the recoil is crazy as heck. I swear to God, I don't even know what DICE did to this weapon. They should have called it the nutcracker. That's what I'm going to be calling this weapon from now on. And look at this, see medic off to the side, quickly shoot him and take him out right there. And as I mentioned earlier, you being on this far right flank and get some people off that MCOM. You can take out as many guys as you can. Not about raising your KD, about getting your teammates in. Look at that, my squad mates are in there. I throw myself an ammo pack, look for more guys, take out that guy in the back there. Notice the guy's running up, so I'm like, you know what, I got to pull out my pistol, and I get taken out right there. But let's switch it up. Let me talk about the C4 and why I love using it, and why you can use it on a defensive and attacker situation. When you see somebody doing this, hiding on the rooftop, hard as heck to get, throw in that C4 up top, take him out easily. It's a piece of cake. Now I'm going to move in here, and this is what I'm talking about. When the enemy plants the MCOM, you got to do what I like to call a clean sweep. Take out as many guys as you can, clean out the perimeter, kill as many guys who are defending on that MCOM so your teammates can defuse the MCOM. Now if your teammates aren't doing that, you want to do it, try your best to kill off as many guys and get to that MCOM and defuse it. And did you notice that strawberry hat right there? That's a medic right there. He's got a strawberry hat on. It's red. So I decided to throw in a C4 on it, blow it up, and now I'm going to be showing you how I'd like to use the C4 attacker style. Now I notice a lot of you guys, when you plant that MCOM, you like to throw your C4 on the MCOM itself. Now this works nicely, gets you some objective damage, but let's face it, you want to kill the enemy, not the MCOM, because you already planted it on the MCOM. So what you want to do is you want to plant the C4 around the MCOM, not directly on it, because that increases blast radius. And look at that, I took 2 guys out nicely. Decide I'm going to throw in a grenade in there just in case there's another guy that the blast radius didn't get. Blow it up, looks like nothing's happening there. Decide, you know what, it's a good idea to throw in some more C4 just in case there's more guys coming up to defuse it that my teammates and I didn't notice. Blow it up, getting in a little bit of objective damage, and finally blowing up that MCOM, taking out a guy who's coming up close with the hip fire to take him out. Now let's switch it up here, and let me show you how I like to do a flank route on Valparaiso. And I notice a lot of guys do not use this flank route. I've only noticed a handful of people who use this flank route. Now, a lot of guys use the riverside flank, and that works nice, but a lot of guys are getting the hang of that. And you know what? Getting 2 flanks is better than just getting 1 flank. So use this flank route on the left. Don't go straight up the middle and try to get shot in the head. Right here, I noticed 2 guys, so I'm like, you know what? Let me be pretty. I decided to throw in a C4, but you know what? I only get 1 guy. Throw in another one, and look at this strawberry medic trying to defib me and take him out. You know why he's a strawberry? He's got a red hat. Who the heck uses a red hat in the battlefield? That's like the brightest color you can see. Everybody sees a red hat. Next thing you know, I'm trying to hip fire this guy in the back, but it's not enough. You know what? My teammate takes him out, and I'm trying to be pretty here, trying to practice it out. You know, you got to find your groove for this weapon. This is why I'm trying to hip fire them long range. And the reason I hip fire is it provides a nice field of view. Because let's face it, the iron sight is god awful. It makes it hard as heck to see people. It makes it hard as heck to shoot them. So that's why I'm hip firing and trying to take him out. And look at this guy. He takes me out easily. But that's not gonna stop me. And by the way, I'm speeding this up. If you haven't noticed, I'm taking out all the parts of me dying and speeding up the parts so you don't see me just running around, showing you the action, showing you how to use this weapon. Look at this. This weapon's a nutcracker. I swear to God, if you're not shooting the nuts, it's gonna bust your nuts, and it's busting my nuts right there. Now I'm gonna get on this heavy MG because let's face it, you gotta use your environment, you gotta dominate the map. Look at this. These guys, they don't even want to look at me because this weapon is beautiful. The heavy MG, you gotta use it whenever you can. Don't just sit on it like a noob waiting for the enemy to suddenly appear in front of you and take them out. Use it when you get the opportunity. It opens up for you, and this is what I'm doing right here. I'm preventing them from getting on that MCOM, defusing it, taking them all out. And let me mention something. The houses on Valparaiso, they're spammable. And look at that right there. You see those hit markers? You can spam the houses. The wooden ones, that is. Not the stone ones, the wooden ones. And look at that sniper. He walks out thinking he's getting shot from his head, but I take him out easily. Now let's speed it up here to the next set of MCOMs. And I'm going to be throwing a grenade out here, taking out that guy off to the side right there that just got spotted. And look at this. When you see mortar strikes like this, you know it's your teammates, because no enemy teammate is going to throw in a mortar strike that close to his base. And that's what I'm using. It provides that smoke for me to get in behind enemy lines, and use it so that the enemy cannot see me. And look at this flank that I'm using right here, by the way. If you notice on the mini-map, you're the only one that got in on the MCOM, or behind enemy lines, that is, and you can get in on that flank. Do not go right away for the plant on the MCOM. I can't stress this enough, because that way you're going to get taken out too easily. The enemy's going to look at you. There's too many of them to fight with. So what you want to do, if you're the first one in on that flank, you want to keep going on the flank, keep going in behind enemy lines, keep flanking in from behind, because look at that, your teammates, the squad members, they can spawn on you. Not only that, as I mentioned earlier, you're doing that flank. You're making the enemies turn away from that MCOM, making it easier for your teammates to push up, especially on these 2 MCOMs. These are the hardest MCOMs to push up on the enemy. So when you get that flank in, you want to stay alive as long as possible and take out as many guys. And if you notice there, the metal is spammable. That's what I did. I spammed that guy dead. But here's a tip for you. When you kill a guy, keep moving. Don't stay stationary. Don't stay where you're at, because that enemy, there's a death cam. The enemy's going to see where you're at and take you out. But look at this, beautiful. They're not even looking at you right now when you take them out. That's what I'm doing right here. I see the sniper off to the side. I'm like, you know what? I hate snipers out of bushwookies. Let me get some dog tags here. A knife him dead, get his dog tags. But let me tell you something. I swear to God, this weapon's a nutcracker. It's freaking amazing. Look at this. Look how many shots I got to shoot to get this guy. I decide, you know what? Maybe I should scope in on him and take him out. Get a nemesis spin on him. Here, another shot off to the side, because look, this is what I'm talking about, doing a far flank off to the side. The enemies don't even notice you sometimes when you take them out. See this guy up top, decided to take a couple of shots, but let's switch it up here. Let's move on to the next 2 MCOMs, because if you notice, my teammates got in on those MCOMs and took it over. Now this weapon, the best thing I can tell you about the weapon is you got to control your rate of fire. The further they are, slow down your rate of fire. I don't know if I explained this earlier, but the closer they are, you want to speed it up a little and use the hip fire in close range situations. Long range situations, use that iron sight, but it's god awful. Let me tell you, it takes a little bit of practice, and you also got to practice your rate of fire. Now, this is important, as I wanted to show in this last MCOM. I got two things to talk about here. Is the rate of fire. Look at this. Close range, I'm using the hip fire to take the enemy out, just so I got that nice field of view, because the iron sight, like I said, is god awful. But look at this. Further off, I'm looking for guys. I scope in, slow down my rate of fire the further they are, and move off to the side. Look at this. Slow down rate of fire to take the enemy out, and I'm going moving off more to the side. And like I mentioned earlier, every time you take a guy, you gotta move out. You gotta move off to the side. When you take an enemy out, you gotta move. But look at this. For some odd reason, when people are on the heavy MG or the anti-tank, the stationary AT, you gotta slow down your rate of fire on them, because apparently the hitboxes are messed up, and the M14 is not like any other weapons that you're using. So you gotta really practice it. You gotta really know how to shoot with it. And the biggest tip I can give you, a lot of people don't know about this, and I don't know if they do, but the best tip I can give you for using the M14 is when you go to shoot, you want to shoot slightly before you take your shot. You want to slowly pull down your mouse down or controller, whatever you're using, and take that shot, because you'll notice it makes it a lot easier to shoot. Now, don't use the MMN, and because it'll be like a 3 to 4 shot weapon. You want to use the Magnum ammo, because it'll be a 2 to 3 shot weapon, because every hit detection you get, it only takes 2 to 3 shots to take the enemy out, depending on how much damage they've taken initially. Now, you can use the 4x scope on it, use it in a medium to long range situation. I'll probably show you a video and a link on in the description about another video I did using in a medium to long range situation. But for the most part, I'm going to be showing you close range using the iron sight right here. And this is what I'm talking about, going on the flank, trying to get your enemies in to get in on that last MCOM. And you can see my teammates planted down on that MCOM. And I'm taking these guys out. Look at this guy. This guy's shooting at him. And here's a tip for you. When you see an enemy running, you want to aim slightly in front of him and shoot at him. Right here, I kind of don't do that right here. I'm shooting a little bit behind him. I get a little bit of hit detection right there, but I'm missing a lot more than I am. I start panicking, taking a lot more shots. So I'm like, you know what, let me use my environment, use that heavy MG, and take out that guy off to the side to win the round right there when the MCOM blows up. Now, I'm going to be showing you the score right here at the end of here. I hope that explained enough for you guys how I like to use this weapon. Little tricks along the way. Quick as heck, I'll tell you that much. I talked fast as heck in that one. But the score here, I think it was 1.95 KD with, let's see this, 1.95 KD, yep, with a top score on my team and top KD on my team. I hope you guys like that. Comment, rate, subscribe.